I want to talk about journaling and why it's so important for people who are trying to unlock the many layers of themselves. And the first thing that I can do is just talk about what journaling has done for me, just to put it into perspective. Journaling has, this is what journaling does, right? Just to put it in a crazy thing that nobody's ever thought of. Journaling is how you have that internal conversation with yourself to solve any problem that you have. You have to you have to think about journaling like a back and forth conversation that you're having with yourself. You can ask yourself questions while you're journaling. You can answer the questions. You can propose new ideas. It's just like you're having a conversation with someone sitting right next to you, but in this case, since you're having conversation with yourself, you start to come up with answers and problem solving techniques that you would have never had if you would have just kind of ignored the issue and just kind of let it go by. You didn't write it down, you didn't try to problem solve it. So that's what I use journaling for. But a lot of people use journaling for different reasons. A lot of people use journaling for goal making. Um, they use journaling for, writing down notes that they need to remember later. But I think the point of having a journal, it all boils down to you having that internal conversation with yourself. For and this is why I'll take journaling over meditation, because meditation is meditation is such a hard practice to get familiar with or to get a handle on. And it takes years and years and years of practice to get meditation right. With journaling, it's almost instant because you can write down whatever comes into your mind instead of instead of it being a thought and then it just kind of goes past and then you forget about it later. When you write it down, it helps to bring that thought back up. So let's say you are trying to overcome one of your limiting beliefs. If you were to try and, let's say you are new to, you can you can be new to meditation, you could be new to journaling. Journaling will have a faster learning curve and a faster solve. It will give you a faster answer than meditation would ever if you're a beginner. But meditation is great, right? I've tried it and I like meditation. But the way my brain works is I forget a lot of stuff if I don't see it written down. So that's why I have so many journals. I have one, two, three journals for different reasons, journals for goals, journals for journals. I have a language learning journal where I'm learning Portuguese. And I think it kind of goes back to writing things down for the sake of memorization or for the sake of your memory, because oftentimes we trust our memory with way too much, and we start to operate out of like broken memory fragments. So um if you're trying to be more intelligent, if you're trying to be more confident, if you're trying to motivate yourself better, and you don't write things down, you're just operating off of what you could remember. And last time I checked, we've been so indoctrinated into social media, into entertainment, into sports, into things outside of ourselves, that most of our memory is probably fucking shot. So if you say you have a memory like an elephant, I don't think you do. If you could remember a person's name from like 10 years ago, like that doesn't fucking count. Like, can you remember intelligent things that can actually put you in a better position in life or can actually help you develop self better? And if you can't, then why aren't you writing things down? I propose that question right now. Like, why aren't you journaling? This thought just came to me. I think people don't journal, or I think people don't try to reflect on their lives through journaling or meditation because that's a scary mirror to look at. The scariest mirror to look at is always going to be yourself. And I get it because I used to avoid journaling. I used to avoid meditation. I used to think I don't have time for shit like that. I don't have time to wake up 30 minutes earlier, sit up in the dark and write and write and write. But that was the time of my life when I was the most laziest. I was the most unproductive. I was the most lost, right? I couldn't focus. I couldn't find a path to get on that made sense to me. And if I would have known that journaling would be a great tool, I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but it's a great tool on getting you back on track and getting you back on focus and reminding you what's important, then I would have been lost to this day. I would have been still lost, right? So people search for answers outside of themselves. And not to get too spiritual here, but in the Bible or whatever you believe, it states that God is within us always. So this is also a tactic that I use to get in touch with God, to hear God's voice better. Because if God is in me, then if I can clear out all the distractions, if I can clear out all the noise and get my thoughts down on a piece of paper, then it'll be way easier for me and God to be in contact and God to give me the word. So there's a million different reasons why somebody would journal. But the main thing comes down to get that shit on paper, because once you get it on paper and you can see it right in front of you, you can make those adjustments that you need to. You can see where you're going wrong. You can see where you're lacking, and you can put that mirror up to your face, and it's going to be scary. It's going to be hard. You're going to hate it at first. You're going to be like, this is a waste of time. And then after a while, you just do it 30 minutes a day. You start to become a whole new person because you start to become aware of all the things that you're just overlooking in life, all the thoughts that you just let go past your mind unchecked that are subtly controlling your actions throughout the day. They're controlling you to be distracted from your main goal in life. They're controlling you to avoid certain conversations that you know you need to have. Fuck, if you had a journal, you could practice having a hard conversation with a person that you know is important to you right here in this journal. A journal is, oh my God, I'm having such an unlock right now. A journaling session is such an unlock because it's almost like a testing ground. You get infinite tries basically before you go and you do the official try, right? You can have infinite conversations, infinite hard conversations before you go and have that hard conversation with the person you love that you know you need to have, right? So if you're not journaling, if you're not meditating, I'm not saying you have to do any of this shit. I'm saying that this is a tool this is a tool that's available to you. This is a tool that's available to everybody. A blank notebook. You can go to Target, pick up a blank notebook for like $5. It's available to you to use. And this is going to be a little bit of a kick in the nuts, but the people who are using the tools that are available to everybody are the ones kicking your ass, are the ones beating you in life. And I have to put it that way because I'm saying people because I'm talking to my old self right now, and anytime I'm talking on these videos, I'm always talking to my old self first before I'm talking to you. But people are whooping your ass. People are beating you at life with the tools that are available to everybody. The internet, blank notebooks, fucking Google, Chat GPT. People are whooping your ass, and you don't need to do anything, but you probably want to look and assess and take stock at your life and really get down and dirty in the mirroring process of seeing where you are and acknowledging it and coming to terms with it, and then saying to yourself and then asking God for help, but saying to yourself that you want a new story. That's on you, and and I promise you it's gonna be fucking hard. You're gonna hate it. Like I said, you're gonna fucking hate this shit because it forces you to work on yourself. Working on yourself is uncomfortable. It's getting you out of your comfort zone, and it's just making you a better human being. And if you're spiritual in any way, how better can you honor God than working on personal development and working on the self and giving thanks to the body, the mind, and the soul that God gave you? How better can you honor God? I can't think of another way. So try journaling out. Let me know what unlocks you get. And I'm here in the comments if you need me.